Alright everyone, new week, new Odyssey. Easter's a thing. I don't remember if it was last time, but I'm pretty sure it still is now. Multi-lane escalation. Okay. Picking a lane can be tough, especially when you keep encountering more. What's the bet that the final map is gonna be fucking hashtag ouch? I hope it's not, but that's usually where these things go. Ooh, never mind. Muddy and bloody. Gross. Pickling. Picking a lane can be tough, especially when you keep encountering more. I don't know if I read that already, so I read it again. Okay, frozen over, hard, double HP Moabs. That's not multi-lane. Oh. I see, they're trying to escalate it slowly. Okay. So single lane, two separate lanes that cross over. 4 lanes, 5 lanes. Gross, gross, gross. Alright. Double HP Mobs on Frozen Over. $800 to start, 5 to 50. Water Park Hard Reverse, 6 to 60, $900 to start. Shoots, ABR, ew. 3 to 65, 1,200 to start. That's generous. Muddy Puddles, Hard Impoppable, 15 to 80, 2,700 to start. Okay, that's a little awkward. And Bloody Puddles Hard Standard, 20 to 90, 4,400 to start. Ew! That's so fucking gross. Also, can I just say that when Ninja Kiwi makes maps now, obviously they're making them harder than normal, for Odysseys, I mean, in terms of what maps they feature, like these last two. Ordinarily, if you saw these two in an Odyssey whatsoever, you can guarantee that shit would be 15 to 40, and this would be like 20 to 45, right? Every time they included an expert or higher map, they would either nerf the shit out of the balloons so that you guys, it would actually be doable, or they'd make it so that you'd only have to go to like easy mode, level 40 difficulty, right? But now they just seem to not be giving a fuck, which kind of terrifies me for the future. Because I'm not that great at a lot of the expert maps. I'm glad they're still giving us a good cash bonus, but still, that's pretty terrifying. Alright, who have we got? Ooh, okay. If we're talking full map coverage, we're thinking either Corvus or Psy. I don't really have many favorites out of this group, honestly. We'll go with Psy, just because Corvus is literally the most recent hero, and I wouldn't want to be picking that if a good chunk of the people that may watch these videos do not have them unlocked. I don't think we'll need that many ninjas and alchemists. Honestly, I do love this setup, but we'll keep you at 4. I don't even know if we'll... Oh, safety net. Sorry, yeah. Need to keep the safety net. We won't use more than 1 plane, probably. I don't even know why I'm bringing helis. Multi-lane helis? Ew. Let's do that and that, I think. Am I happy with that? 2 banana farms honestly will make such a big fucking difference. And because it's not an extreme mode Odyssey, even bigger still. Even bigger still. I'm happy with this. Let's go. Let's do it. None of those maps said primary only monkeys, right? I fucking hope not. Anyway. Oh, look at the little cute Easter theme. You know, someone on Reddit actually brought up a very good question. And I hadn't even known about it until very recently. I think it was a fairly recent post, like last week or so, right? And it's a very good question in my opinion. It's about this map in particular, actually. How the fuck did they freeze a white balloon? How did they do that? We clearly need to harness the power and technology that these cave monkeys had, because they have the technology to do the impossible. I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. Either that, or clearly an ice monkey of very high regard, perhaps a paragon, created this entire map. I kind of wish there was a bit more lore in terms of the monkeys and the maps themselves. Maybe I'm just not digging deep enough, but it'd be interesting if this was the work of a particularly crazed ice monkey, and only once the ice started to melt, probably due to global monkey warming, the balloons could actually travel through here again. I'll tell you what I have been getting into recently, and it is an amazing fan base that I did not even know. Well, I knew they existed, but I didn't know much about it, and I wasn't really all that interested until very recently. The SCP Foundation, also known as Secure, Contain, Protect? I think that's what it stands for. But essentially, if you haven't heard of them, it is a fictitious corporation that, obviously, the SCP standing for Secure, Contain, Protect, aims to secure, contain, and protect the world from supernatural beings, objects, places, pretty much anything you can think of that is supernatural or abnormal. This facility, entirely made up, entirely fictitious. It's literally just for, like, creating lore for the sake of lore reasons, right? So completely fictitious corporation, aimed at keeping the rest of the world safe by containing, securing, and protecting them against what they call the SCPs. And each SCP is given a number followed by the letters SCP to designate the number, well, just to give it a unique identifier, really. And so if you type up, for example, on Google, SCP-999, you will happen to find the SCP Foundation wiki page, and you will be informed on what SCP-999 is, what they know about it, how people can interact with it in the facility, what clearance level you need to be to interact with it, all sorts of crazy shit, and it is absolutely amazing. So, for example, SCP-999, like I just said, is essentially a giant orange blob of jelly. Right? Just getting it all out there immediately. Just laying down the cards on the table. That's what it is. And apparently, this is one of the more kind or nicer SCPs, because essentially, usually all the other ones are just like, dangerous, do not enter unless you have like level 5 clearance and you've got at least a squad team of 7 or up with you, right? They'll be like, do not enter, do not access, do not talk to, do not interact with, do not be in the same room as this SCP. But when it comes to this one, it says something on the wiki page along the lines of, listen, if you don't have any other work to do at the time, you know, if you don't have an actual job at the moment and you're waiting on the next, you know, piece of information or next lead on your task or assignment, yes, you can hang out with the big orange gelatinous blob. And they make it really sound like it's just an adorable little pig or like a dog that you get to go and play with, because it's like, listen, if you're not busy with actual work and you genuinely have nothing to do, you can go and hang out with the adorable SCP and give it cuddles and hugs and feed it, alright? Only if you have nothing else to do, though. Just made me think that shit was hilarious. Anyway, like I was saying, SCPs can come in many shapes, sizes, and forms, including locations. I don't know the exact number of it, but there is an SCP known as the Infinite IKEA. where it is exactly what it sounds like. It is an IKEA that if you enter, you essentially will get lost and be stuck in an infinite IKEA. Like, I don't exactly know the full details on how it works, but essentially just imagine IKEA. Lovely little place that we all know and love it to be, right? Meatballs and everything. But mainly the furniture is probably the main reason people go. I mean, I'd personally lean a bit more towards the meatball way, but you can't always just go to IKEA just for meatballs. It's a little absurd. Anyway, not the point. Point is, the infinite IKEA traps many victims, and while it doesn't, you know, it's not like a living IKEA. It's not like one that's trying to actively kill you the whole time. It's just a normal fucking IKEA, except it is infinite and there is no escape, to my knowledge. But yeah, shit like that is just like, wow, that was fucking weird to think about. Huh. And then you immediately want to find out more about something else. Just be like, okay, well if that was super weird, then what could all these other ones do? And like, supposedly there's different divisions within the SCP Foundation for different specialties in terms of what SCPs you can deal with and handle. There are ones that are like memory erasing SCPs, ones that could kill you just by looking at you SCPs, ones that can warp time and space itself around you. It's insane. Some are just literally fucking glorified salesmen, but then it turns out that if you accept their deal, they pretty much ruin your life. It's certainly interesting. I would highly recommend you just randomly Google like SCP and then put a number in between 1 and 1,000 and see what comes up. By the way, there is more than 1,000 SCPs. That was just an example of numberage that you could use. There is absolutely more than 1,000. Stun. Stun. There's not a third one, but that's alright, we'll get this back in time. We shouldn't pop the balloon in the meantime. Never mind, we did. We fucking killed it. Alright, next! Actually, that would be pretty fun. Now, I don't ask this a lot, because I'm typically, this is reverse. I'm typically not a big fan of asking for fucking, like, you know, fucking like this and subscribe that and ew. No, you do you. You're your own person. Right. But, and only join in if you want to, I do think it would be a fun exercise if, like I said, you just Googled fucking SCP and then insert a number between 1 and 1,000. If you're daring to go higher, then go higher. If you know about a specific SCP, then ignore me altogether and just go for that. But I do think it would be cool if, in the comments, you just put in the SCP number. You don't have to fill out any more details than that, because honestly, I'd just be intrigued to look into them and be like, ha, nice. But if you want to, once again, do what you want. But I think it would be cool if you just put in an SCP that you've found, or that you looked up, either randomly or you just knew about it in the first place. Put it in the comments, and then just give a very brief, but scarily accurate depiction of what it is, you know? And if you hate homework like I do, by all means, just fucking ignore me. But I really love the gelatinous glob, or ooze, that is SCP-999, as well as the infinite IKEA, like I told you. But yeah, if you happen to have a favorite, throw it in the comments. If you don't happen to have a favorite, Google one randomly, and then let us know. Give us a bit of info. You don't have to give too much. I'm not expecting a 500-word fucking thesis. Just whatever you've found or whatever you think is interesting, if you found something that's interesting. And that's the thing too, like, obviously with the glob or the ooze that I was talking about, and as well as the infinite IKEA, not all SCPs are necessarily harmful or dangerous, per se. They might have the capacity to be harmful or dangerous, but some of them are just allowed to roam freely throughout the facility. Whereas others have to be highly contained within like 43 different walled chambers, and they still try to fucking escape and kill as many things in sight. I think my mate at work was actually telling me today about an SCP. I think it was called, well, I don't know what it was called, but SCP-862, I think, which was essentially a reptilian-like figure who hates all forms of life, is incredibly aggressive, like, I'm talking like they restrict all non-essential communication with this thing to avoid aggressive outbursts of rage, right? Because if it goes into an aggressive outburst of rage and has a fucking absolute, what do you call it? Not a panic attack. If they go on a rampage, there's like fuck all that can stop them. And apparently this motherfucker's already broken out like 6 times and has attempted to break out an additional 17 times or something. But yeah, my mate was telling me about it at work today, because I only recently got into the SCP stuff like last week. But damn, is it good. There's some YouTube videos of SCPs, like fan-made videos of what SCPs would be like to interact with, or if you encountered them, or most of the time, the facility, the SCP corporation, encounters them, and obviously knows what they're dealing with, so they try their best to counteract and countermeasure. But, well, depending on the SCP, they either succeed or they fail. But yeah, it's just so interesting. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, one of them's a fucking gramophone that just plays music. I don't exactly know the properties of it, because the video I watched was not incredibly detailed about what it does, per se. Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. But essentially, it was playing in this town, and everybody in the town wanted to fucking leave the town because of the gramophone. And then for some reason, if you try and approach the gramophone, this group of men, all identical looking to each other, all completely bald and in jumpsuits, will find you, hunt you down, open their mouths really fucking wide. I'm talking like distorted in terms of how fucking like they didn't have a what do you call it? Like they unhinge their jaw, open their mouth incredibly fucking wide, and then their mouth starts playing the same music from the gramophone. And it somehow weakens you physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever, to the point where you black out, and then they can kill you, I assume. Either that or they kidnap you and take you somewhere, but either way. Essentially, you try and get close to the gramophone, you will not get close to the gramophone. You will absolutely be stopped. But yeah. And a lot of the wiki pages will also be like, here's how you can prevent yourself from being, you know, hurt or dismembered or murdered by this SCP. Or here are ways we've tried to contain or protect ourselves from this SCP. Like, I know there's one that is literally just a pair of eyeballs that can appear pretty much anywhere, and if you look at them, you instantly die. And now, there is a YouTube video on that, but I don't want to say any more, because I will spoil a few things if that's the case, and if you guys do want to look into them yourselves and look it up, I wouldn't want to spoil that, that twist. The twist ending that there is for it. But, It's interesting. It's pretty interesting. Would highly recommend it if you're looking for something to watch and you're into a bit of horror, a bit of fantasy. It's quite fun. Anyway, we seem to be crushing this Odyssey so far. Don't get me wrong, I'm not looking forward for ABR, and I'm definitely not looking forward to the last two maps, especially the second last one being on impossible difficulty. That just seems a bit rude. But yeah, we're not doing too bad so far. Seem to have things under control. I'm so glad double HP Moabs is over. Let's get Jungle's Bounty. It'll make life cleaning up these regular balloons much, much easier. Do we have camo lead poppers? Yeah, we do. Oh yeah, we definitely do. What haven't I used? I haven't placed a wizard down yet before. I guess I haven't really needed to just yet. Probably will on the last few maps, because I'm gonna need a wizard on every single line if I can help it. Same with the druid. That's why I brought so many along. If I can't get a wizard per lane, then I will get a druid per lane. Alright, you know what? I'm already on the SCP wiki. I'm gonna put in a random number. What round are we on? 59? What is SCP-59? Do 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 do. Okay. Before we finish, I will tell you briefly about SCP-59. Okay. Special containment procedures. What is it? What is it? Description. Is a radioactive mineral of unknown origin, specifically resembling scheelite. A component of SCP-59 is believed to originate in an alternate universe, and it is responsible for its anomalous properties. In addition to alpha, beta, and gamma radiation, SCP-59 specimens produce a previously unknown type of radiation, apparently unique to the object, tentatively designated delta radiation. Delta radiation is accompanied by Cherenkov radiation, visible as blue glow, blah 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 blah. When an area is exposed to delta radiation for more than 15 minutes, an unknown species of fungus begins to grow on any exposed surface. This fungus does not require any standard nutrition, but will die within 24 hours of removal from a delta radiation source. SCP-059-1 is itself radioactive, but does not emit delta radiation. Okay. SCP-59-1 will infest both living beings and inanimate objects. Humans and animals affected will become immune to the effects of ionizing radiation, but progressively merge with SCP-59 and eventually have all tissues replaced by fungal growth. While generally non-violent, they will attempt to expose unaffected individuals. Okay, this is proper zombie shit. This is zombie shit, possibly even, not that I know much about it, The Last of Us type zombie shit, where it's like plant-based and fungal. Anyway, there you go, we just found out about a radioactive rock that produces zombies and will make you grow fungus all over your body. And while it won't hurt you all that much, you will turn into a mindless zombie trying to infect other people. Interesting. Anyway, there you go. Please let me know in the comments if you've looked up any SCPs and what they are. Just a brief little description. Thank you very much in advance if you do it. If you don't do it, fair enough. You're your own person. You don't have to listen to me. Anyway, that has been Multi-Lane Escalation Part 1. Part 2 will feature these last 3 maps and will be done tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care and have a great week, everybody.